All right, everybody, welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be talking all about Neurobro. Neurobro, they're this platform working with AI and crypto trading.
Right, right.
And we've got two sources here today. One is called Neurobro 100x AI agent for crypto. And the other one here is the Welcome to Neurobro light paper.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through these and kind of try to break them down and see what's going on with Neurobro.
Yeah.
And, I got to say, one of the things that really caught my eye was
Yeah.
in one of the sources it mentions that Neurobro is starting to become sentient. And
Oh, wow.
I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means or how that's possible. So,
Yeah. I mean, that's a big claim,
Yeah. Yeah.
and AI sentience is one of those things that gets thrown around a lot, especially when we
Yeah.
talk about AI and
Yeah,
crypto.
sure.
But, needs to be looked at with a little bit skepticism.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. But before we get too deep into that, I did want to ask, you mentioned a light paper. What is a light paper?
Well,
Why would Neurobro release a light paper?
basically it's like a simplified version of a
Right.
white paper. So it's just meant to give you kind of a high-level overview
I see.
of the project and the technology and stuff like
So
that.
you get the light version first, and then maybe later
Exactly.
a full white paper.
Yep.
Right, that makes sense. So I got to ask you. I mean, we touched on this earlier. One of the sources says 100x AI agent for crypto.
Yeah.
How? I mean, what is an AI agent in this context?
So an AI agent in this context, it's basically a
It's just
program that can analyze market data and make trades
Right.
automatically based on its analysis.
Yeah.
So the idea is that, these AI agents
Yeah.
can react much faster to the market
Right.
than humans can and potentially identify
Sure.
profitable opportunities that we might miss.
So it's all about just speed and information,
Yeah.
basically. Okay. The lead paper that we mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
it lists a bunch of different sections here:
Mm-hmm.
vision, ecosystem, tokenomics, governance, technology, growth strategy, socials.
It's a pretty standard layout for these kinds of projects.
Okay. And I guess my question is, why are these sections important?
Well,
I mean, why would Neurobro put them in the light paper?
they give you a good picture of the overall project.
Mhm.
The vision section will tell you what the team's long-term goals are.
Okay.
The ecosystem section will describe how the platform works and
Mhm.
how the different parts interact with each other. Tokenomics obviously explains how the token works, how
Yeah.
it's distributed, all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
okay.
So all of these sections together kind of paint a picture of the whole
Awesome.
project.
So if we're thinking about, the tokenomics and maybe how
Yeah.
that bilateral token
Right.
plays into this whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
what are we looking for in that section?
So in the tokenomics section, you really want to pay attention to how the token is used within the ecosystem. Like, does it have any real utility, or is it just a speculative asset?
Right.
What's the distribution model like? How are the tokens allocated? Are there any red flags there that might indicate some kind of pump and dump scheme or
Yeah.
something like that? So it's really important to
Yeah.
scrutinize those details.
Sure, sure. Speaking of interacting with AI, one of the things I saw in the low paper was this
Yeah.
chat with Neurobro assistant
Right,
feature.
right.
What do you make of that?
Well,
I mean, is that the AI agents in action?
It could be. I mean, it could be like a simplified way for users to interact with Neurobro's technology. Maybe it gives you, some basic trading advice or
Yeah.
helps you navigate the platform. I don't know, but it's definitely an interesting feature.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the big question here is, we started off talking about this idea of sentience.
Yeah.
And I'm still not entirely convinced.
Well, and rightfully so.
Okay.
I mean, true AI sentience
Yep.
is still a very controversial topic.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's something that we need to be very careful about.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. So I guess that begs the question, if these AI agents
Right.
are as good as Neurobro claims,
Yeah.
what happens to the human traders?
That's the big question, right?
Right.
I mean, if AI can consistently outperform human traders,
Yeah.
it could change the entire crypto landscape. It could make the market more efficient, but it could also lead to a lot of problems with transparency and fairness and potentially even manipulation. So
Sure.
it's something we need to be thinking about.
Wow. Well, this deep dive has been quite a journey. I mean,
Wow.
We've gone from trying to figure out what a lead paper is to wondering if AI is going to take over the world.
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, yeah. I think the big takeaway here is that Neurobro is doing some really interesting things.
Yeah, they're definitely pushing the boundary.
But as with any new technology, there are a lot of potential risks and ethical considerations that we need to be aware of. So I guess it remains to be seen how this all plays out. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I would say so.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive
Yeah.
into the world of Neurobro. And hopefully you'll join us next time as well.
Thanks for having me.